This is what nature does if she's left alone for 50 million years. She produces a rainforest, the most complex and diverse ecosystem on Earth. While covering only 4% of the Earth's land surface, the Amazon rainforest is home to nearly half of the world's plant and animal species. This vast forest stabilizes the global climate, moderating temperatures, absorbing rainfall, and releasing vital currents of moisture into the air. It is said that the forest gives up her secrets slowly and only to those who come to her in reverence and respect. The indigenous people of the tropical forest have evolved a rich and complex relationship with the natural world. For thousands of years, these people have lived as an integral thread in this miraculous and fragile weave of life.
Hello, 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 hello. My goodness, Morgan Freeman's voice, please. More of that all the time. My name is Una Chaplin, and normally we would all be gathered together somewhere in person, but COVID has changed things. It's changed things a lot, so now we're doing this way. So I would firstly like to thank the great mystery for this day. Also, I would like to thank all of you for tuning in from your homes, from wherever you are. I hope that you're really taking good care of yourselves in this time and taking good care of all your loved ones too. So we're here to make a journey to the heart of the forest, to the magic, to the mystery, the jaguars, the harpy eagles, the acai bowls, but also to the heartache and the dangers and the grief and the way that we all connect there. And COVID is proving to be the great connector in this time. It has isolated us, but it has also made us see that we are all together floating on the same ball of beauty somewhere out in space. And yet COVID is also leaving a devastating mark in our precious Amazon rainforest. And that's why we're here. We're gathered here to bring you the voices and the images and music from all over the world in support of the Amazon Emergency Fund. This is a historic alliance of organizations, indigenous, non-indigenous organizations that have all come together to address this crisis. The fund supports rapid response grants for urgent and immediate prevention and care, from food and medical supplies, for emergency communications and evacuation, for protection and security for the forest guardians, and food sovereignty, really important thing, that food sovereignty and community resistance. So 100% of each donation will go directly to indigenous and forest communities and organizations that face COVID-19 in the Amazon rainforest today. But before we start, we have the blessing of a prayer from Mapu and Inca Yuba of the Hunikuin people in Brazil. The Hunikuin people are great teachers of mine. I've been working with these guys for about 7 years. So let's just take this moment, to land here together.
Primeiramente, eu quero agradecer ao Grande Espírito, a todos os nossos seres ancestrais. Eu sou Mapu Hunikuin, do povo Hunikuin da Amazônia, do Acre. Estou aqui junto com meu sobrinho em Caiubu, um líder espiritual que trabalha com as medicinas sagradas, que canta os nossos rezos sagrados. Então, estou muito agradecido por fazer parte e participar desse grande evento junto com toda a Irmandade, que a gente possa unir força e salvar a Amazônia. Porque a Amazônia, o povo indígena, está precisando do apoio de vocês, da ajuda de vocês. Então, ficamos muito felizes por estar sendo convidado e por fazer parte nesse momento, de fazer essa cantoria, de poder realmente rezar pela humanidade, pelo planeta Terra, e realmente a gente se conectar e ouvir o que a Pachamama está dizendo para nós. E através dos nossos rezos, nós poder realmente mandar muita paz e amor. Então, eu vou estar fazendo o rezo aqui, já desde agora, para que a gente possa estar conectado com o Grande Espírito. Tchau, tchau.
Haush, gratidão, Chai. Beautiful, thank you. So I wanted to talk about something that I hold really dear to my heart, and that is that you can't protect what you don't care about, right? Why would you? You can't do it. Not do it effectively anyway. And the thing is that you can't care about something that you can't experience. So this is what we're going to do here. Over the next 2.5 hours, this amazing team of people have come together to do our best and worked really hard to bring you a direct experience of the Amazon. We're going to sing to its beauty. We're going to meet her people. We're going to show you the threats to its existence and what that means for the whole of life on Earth. And we're going to celebrate the cultures that have been taking care of this heart of our planet for thousands and thousands of years. So even though you may never get to go there physically, by the end, I really hope that you realize that the air that you breathe and the water that you drank and the health of the planet that we all stand on and we all share is intrinsically connected to this living legacy of creation, the Amazon rainforest. And that makes it all of our responsibilities to stand up to protect it. But hang on. How do you protect a rainforest? I don't know how to protect a rainforest. Do you? No offense, but I think you probably don't. So this is the thing, right? We need to listen to the people who do know, the people that know how it works down there, and we need to show up for them in a really good way. So thank you so much. We are so happy that you're joining us and participating in the first ever virtual global call to action to unite with the indigenous people of the Amazon rainforest. So here we go.
Well, this is kind of a weird backdrop to use for talking about the Amazon rainforest, but I don't know, I guess we're going through some pretty weird times, so maybe it'll make some kind of strange sense. First thing I'd like you to do is I want you to bring your attention to the tree. Take a deep breath. Oxygen. Oh, yeah, don't you dig oxygen, man? Yeah. All right, now bring your attention to 400 billion trees. That's the Amazon rainforest, one of the greatest expressions of life on Earth for the last 55 million years. It helps regulate our climate, is home to most of the world's terrestrial biodiversity, and gives us 20% of the world's oxygen. Yeah, the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest and its people are in peril right now. The indigenous people of Amazonia have kept an ecological way of life alive, and they are the key to protecting and sustainably managing the rainforest. They work every day to protect an entire ecosystem from a world that seeks to obliterate the sensitive forests for short-term profits. At the turn of the 20th century, colonists destroyed more than 90 indigenous tribes, and with them centuries of accumulated knowledge. As their homelands continue to be destroyed by deforestation, rainforest peoples are also disappearing. We need your help. We need your help to mobilize urgent COVID-19 responses to preserve the wisdom of Amazonia elders who are at particular risk during this pandemic. The rainforest and the cultural practices developed by its inhabitants are an ancient system that is irreplaceable. Indigenous peoples around the world, they already know how connected we all are, no matter where we all live and no matter when in time. Think about it. Over 100 billion people have walked the surface of this earth before us, and we live with their past choices. We are 7 billion people right now, and we can choose to do the right thing. I want to encourage you to not only donate, please do that, but also engage on a deeper level. Make saving the rainforest personal. I've made it personal. Years ago, I joined the board of a wonderful organization called the Amazon Conservation Team. And we know that the destruction of the rainforest is a major driver of climate change. So protecting it and its indigenous peoples, that benefits all of us. That's why the Amazon Conservation Team has already placed more than 2 tons of sanitary and medical supplies into the hands of the Amazonian peoples. And that's why we are honored to join forces with our other colleagues at the Amazon Emergency Fund to help protect these peoples and these rainforests, and well, protect ourselves, protect all of us. I'd like you to listen to what Mark Plotkin, president of the Amazon Conservation Team, has to say.
As an ethnobotanist who's been working in Amazonia for almost 40 years, I know these plants and these peoples hold secrets to healing that we have yet to understand. But we all know in the age of COVID-19 that these peoples and these forests are being hammered. I encourage everyone to join forces with us to support the Amazon Emergency Fund. In so doing, we protect these forests, we protect these medicines, we protect these indigenous peoples who are the best stewards of these forests and these healing secrets. And in so doing, we protect ourselves as well.
Did you know that 1/4 of all modern pharmaceuticals are derived from plants and animals in the tropical rainforest, including drugs for hypertension, malaria, and blood pressure?
Well, what's good? My name is Butterscotch, and I'm going to be performing my song called We Are All We Got. And it's about coming together when the world needs us most. Here we go. There's a place where we all get along. Seems like everything today is just going wrong. We can fight to stay together and strong. We can make it if we try. The road may be long, but I believe we will survive through it all. With you by my side, there's no chance we'll fall. Come on, we are all we got. We're all we got. We are all we got. There's a river flying high in the sky, above the lush forest greens of the Amazon life. We must protect the heart and lungs of the earth. The future needs us more than ever, but the nature comes first. And eye for an eye has left us blind. No more war, no more dying. Can we leave it behind? Illuminate the stars so we can world with love supposed to be. We are all we got. We're all we got. We are 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 all we got. Yeah. We're destroying earth, we're destroying nature. Who I gotta talk to in legislature? I can't even breathe without inhaling death. More than half of our world is sinking in debt. We're trapped in a system that has never done us good, but we keep on rising. Gotta get about the hood too, concerned with politicians. Change starts with us. We've come too far to be in the back of the bus. Not just talking black, all colors included. Nobody on earth deserves to be excluded. From my people in the Amazon, my people in the ghetto, to my people with the trailer parks living in the middle. Everyone deserves a chance to see it changing their world. We owe a bright future to every boy and girl. I'm sick of seeing the same news. It's time to put it to a stop. I'm never quitting on the clock, cause you and I are all we got. Come on, we are all we got. We're all we got. We're all we got. We are all we got. We're all we got. Yeah. We're all we got. We're all we got. We are all we got. We are all. We gotta come together. We gotta come together. We are all. Yeah. Come on. Come on. We are all we got.
Olá, gente. Eu sou a Sônia Guajajara. Eu sou da coordenação executiva da APIB, a Articulação dos Povos Indígenas do Brasil. Sou liderança indígena da Amazônia Maranhense. E eu falo aqui hoje dessa Amazônia, essa Amazônia que habita em mim, essa Amazônia que somos nós, povos indígenas, que sangra quando vê suas árvores serem cortadas ou o minério sendo arrancado da mãe terra, que chora quando vê as lideranças indígenas serem mortas por defender a vida, que sente o corpo envenenado pelo agrotóxico do agronegócio, que sente as chamas do fogo quando essa Amazônia é queimada. Há uma destruição programada em curso. O governo brasileiro odeia nós, povos indígenas. Ele quer apagar a nossa história e quer nos exterminar. O governo brasileiro detesta o meio ambiente protegido. Já são mais de 20 mil garimpeiros ilegais somente no território indígena Yanomami, no estado de Roraima. O desmatamento cresce a galope. A grilagem de terras está sendo tramitada no Congresso Nacional para ser legalizada. A Covid-19 já matou centenas de indígenas somente na Amazônia brasileira. Parece que estamos no meio de uma guerra que aparenta não ter fim, mas nós não vamos recuar. E nós contamos com vocês. Precisamos chamar mais gente que acreditam que é possível resistir frente a esse projeto de destruição. E convidamos todas e todas que acreditam numa sociedade mais justa e mais igualitária. A Amazônia somos todos nós, artistas pela Amazônia. Estamos juntos. Precisamos unir essa força. Sangue indígena, nenhuma gota a mais.
Did you know that the Amazon rainforest releases 20 billion metric tons of water vapor into the atmosphere each day, produces flying rivers, and brings rain to the entire continent? The rainforest functions as the Earth's natural thermostat.
Hi everyone, my name is Wade Davis, and I'm delighted to be with you, and I can't thank you enough for supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund. You know, COVID has become a global crisis, but the peoples of the Amazon, the small, isolated indigenous societies in particular, are especially vulnerable. And this wouldn't be the first time that foreign diseases had threatened the ways of the forest. Remember that at the time of the European conquest, diseases such as smallpox and measles swept over the Americas, and they didn't decimate the peoples of the Amazon, because decimate would imply to kill 1 in 10. It was quite the opposite. Fully 90% of the people of the Amazon 10 million strong, we now know, succumbed to these foreign diseases. And even the Spanish and Portuguese were bewildered by the rates of mortality and morbidity of these ailments that they knew well from Europe, ailments that most Europeans were exposed to almost as a passage rite, as part of coming of age. And they simply didn't understand that these Amerindian populations were completely susceptible to diseases that were commonplace in Europe. But today we do understand, and we do know, and if we allow COVID to sweep over the Amazon, wreaking havoc in the lives of these visionary peoples of the forest, the responsibility will be on our shoulders. We know more than we did in the 16th century, and we can do more. We have to garner the resources to protect the people of the Amazon rainforest. So thanks so much for being part of this effort, and together we really can make a difference.
Juntos, poderemos vencer essa batalha e salvar a vida na Terra. Obrigada e Shalom.
אנו יכולים לעשות זאת היום, עכשיו וביחד. תודה ושלום. את לא איתי, אני כאן לבד, כשאת לא איתי אין טעם כמעט, אני אש בלי אור, סתרה בלי כוכב, כוכב בליל כפור, בלי זוג מאוהב, אל הישם עובדות הדרכים, סירה ללא ים, שדה בלי פרחים, העצב תמידי, העצב חתום, אם אינך לצידי אז אני לא כלום.
Ai, que saudade, que vontade de ver renascer nossa vida. Volta, querido, os meus braços precisam dos teus, meus abraços precisam dos teus. Estou tão sozinha, tenho os olhos cansados de olhar para o além. Vem ver a vida. Sem você, meu amor, eu não sou ninguém. Ai, que saudade, que vontade de ver renascer nossa vida. Volta, querido, os meus braços precisam dos meus, meus abraços precisam dos teus. Estou tão sozinha, tenho os olhos cansados de olhar para o além. Vem ver a vida. Sem você, meu amor, eu não sou ninguém.
Sem você, meu amor, eu não sou ninguém.
Sem você, meu amor, eu não sou ninguém. Sem você, meu amor, eu não sou
Deforestation in the Brazilian rainforest has increased by 50% since the pandemic took hold. In this critical time of international health crisis, protecting the heart of the planet is the same as protecting our own heart. Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund and demand a halt to extractive activity and deforestation on indigenous territories across the Amazon. We can do this now, together. Thank you.
Did you know that the Amazon River Basin harbors more than 16,000 tree species and 4,000 fish species?
This is a moment like no other in history. It's a moment when many millions of us have slowed down, and millions of us are thinking more deeply about the way we live. That is why I started Eco-Resolution with Advaya, to encourage all of us to explore how we can live in better harmony with the earth, each other, and ourselves. The indigenous peoples of the Amazon already know how to live in harmony with the earth, yet right now they are threatened twice over. COVID-19 has spread to indigenous communities which are especially vulnerable to disease, and many thousands of cases have been confirmed. At the same time, destructive deforestation in the Amazon is increasing. These wisdom keepers of the forest protect and defend the Amazon for all of us. It's up to us to support them, and we can do that right now by giving to the Amazon Emergency Fund. I urge you to support as generously as you can to help provide rapid response supplies like food, medical care, emergency communications, and evacuation, and help with protection and community resilience across the Amazon region. Beyond that, if we really want to safeguard life on Earth, we must make it illegal to destroy ecosystems like the Amazon. Mass damage and destruction of nature is called ecocide, and it should be an international crime, just like genocide. That's why I signed up to the Stop the Ecocide campaign, working with lawyers and researchers and diplomats to make ecocide a crime at the International Criminal Court. So I invite you to make an eco-resolution to right now support the Amazon Emergency Fund and to sign up to help stop ecocide. It's time to change the rules so that we can truly protect people and the planet.
Amazon region needs help. Help from every part of the world. Indians dying, starving and dying from COVID. People from hinterland, for instance, in the state of Amazonas, dying because they have no health assistance. President Bolsonaro, he's against Indians. He's in favor of mining in Indian lands. They are trying to settle in Brazil something like a dictatorship that I'm sure that Brazilian people will be able to avoid it, not allowing something so brutal like this. We need help. 65% of Indians that were caught by COVID are localized, they live in the hinterland of the state of Amazon. It's very grave, it's very grave. They represent our oral history. I have in my blood 351 years of Portuguese colonization. And I have in my blood 10,000 years of Indian culture. That's why I ask for your help, for a great union of people that can support this fight, this beautiful fight, this moral fight, this ethic fight, this human fight for Indians, for people from hinterland, for all those that are not considered by the government, the settled in Brazil, and that dreams with another experience of dictatorship, of military dictatorship. It's not possible to happen, and it's not possible to be accepted for us.
Hello,
I'm Sebastian Salgado, a Brazilian photographer, and I want to invite you to join an important group of international personalities in an appeal to the Brazilian government. What has brought these people together is fear that the terrible coronavirus, which is spreading rapidly across Brazil, will have a devastating impact on the indigenous peoples of the Amazon region. Brazil has the largest number of isolated native peoples in the world, and over the past 500 years, they have been victims of successive devastating epidemics because they have no defense against diseases coming from outside the rainforest. The situation today is still more critical because the Brazilian government has relaxed its controls on gold diggers, loggers, and farmers who are invading land reserved for the indigenous tribes. And these fortune hunters may carry the coronavirus. That is why we are urging the President of Brazil and the leaders of its legislative and judicial branches to create a special task force to drive illegal invaders from indigenous territories and to guarantee the health and welfare of the native population. Brazil honors it to these first Brazilians. They need our help. The time to act is now.
My name is Corianka Kilcher. I'm descendant of the Quechua and Huachipaira people from the highlands and jungles of South America. Two of my friends, they have COVID-19 right now because they're reporters and they've been trying to get information out. And as they've been reaching out to the communities, going to the communities, trying to get information, trying to share the information, they contracted coronavirus, and their entire family has coronavirus now too. This is like spreading like a wildfire like we saw a few months ago in the Amazon, and there is no potential stop or end to this because the lack of education and the lack of protection and the lack of medical necessities.
Soy Italo García Murayari, comunicador social del pueblo Shipibo Conibo. Llevo 32 días contagiado por este mal, COVID-19. Hace poco me han detectado a mí y a 5 de mi familia. Vivo en carne propia vivir de esta enfermedad. Así como yo, los comunicadores indígenas estamos sumergidos a eso. Comunicadores indígenas que se han contagiado, cubriendo, informando a las comunidades indígenas en sus respectivos programas de radio. Así como nosotros, las comunidades nativas están sufriendo mucho porque hasta el momento no tienen apoyo de parte del gobierno, apoyo por la parte médica, pero en las comunidades nativas es lo que necesita más. Hay personas que están muriendo no solamente del virus, hay personas que están muriendo de hambre y algunas ONGs, algunos entes del Estado, del gobierno, hasta el momento no se fijan. Si han llegado en grandes cantidades los apoyos, yo pido que lleguen netamente a las comunidades nativas. Les pido a las personas que están dando iniciativas de recaudar fondos que lleguen verdaderamente a nuestros hermanos, porque esta pandemia los ha golpeado duramente a los hermanos indígenas de toda la región Ucayali.
Wow, thank you so much, all of you. This is the thing, right? And it comes, you see all of this, and it comes from being just concepts of the Amazon, this place that's very far away, to then it being a personal issue here. It's a personal issue. We're dealing with people. This is about people and saving humanity and stepping up to the plate in this historic time of change.
Hi, I'm Carlos Santana.
And Cindy Blackman Santana. COVID-19 has spread to indigenous communities in the Amazon and is having devastating effects.
These communities are disproportionately vulnerable to the disease. We must stand and protect the protectors. When we do, we ensure the protection of the heart of the planet and ourselves. Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund and demand a halt to extractive activity and deforestation of indigenous territories across the Amazon. Thank you.
Imagine a place full of life, its wealth is still intact, its mystery not yet fully revealed. A place of secular trees, sacred chants, and vibrant people. A place governed by the immensity and the force of nature. A unique place holding our common future. This place exists. It's the Amazon. But right now, the forest is crying. Sadly, the coronavirus is ravaging indigenous communities living the Amazon rainforest as it sweeps across Brazil. More than ever, they are in great danger because of COVID-19. At least 332 indigenous people in Brazil have died due to the pandemic, and more than 7,200 were infected across 110 communities. Indigenous people across the Amazon are losing their leaders and elders, inflicting irreparable damage on their traditional knowledge and culture. We're all losing too. We're losing the real guardians of the forest, who have been protecting the Amazon rainforest for all of us for thousands of years. Join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund so indigenous communities throughout the Amazon can access testing, medical supplies, food, and other necessities in this critical time. Please stand with me in protecting the protectors.
Thank you so much for those powerful images and words. This is the thing. We can actually change and reshape our connection to the planet and to each other. Well, we can do it now. How do we want to step back out into the world? I mean, look at this right now, what's happening. There's so many distant lands coming together to bring you this live stream. We're just in Israel, and we'll go to California, Ghana, Brazil. Voices from all generations, from all cultures speak and sing to the heart of this planet, the heart that connects us all. So stay with it.
Meu nome é Alela Roitiai Suruí, jovem mulher indígena do povo Paité Suruí de Rondônia, e eu venho aqui falar da importância do apoio internacional para os povos indígenas do Brasil e da Amazônia nesse momento tão difícil que é a pandemia do coronavírus. Além de estar tendo que lutar contra a doença do coronavírus que já chegou nas aldeias, os povos indígenas também estão tendo que enfrentar a luta contra o ataque às suas terras, as constantes invasões que vêm sofrendo e a luta contra esse governo genocida, antiambientalista e anti-povos indígenas, que constantemente vem atacando nossos direitos. Então é importantíssimo o apoio de vocês, o apoio aos povos indígenas nesse momento tão difícil.
Manaus is the capital of the Amazonas state in Brazil. It is the heart of what you know as the Amazon rainforest.
The Amazon rainforest is the largest rainforest on Earth,
with the greatest biodiversity.
The largest freshwater repository.
Home of incredible cultures and magical stories.
Extraordinary animals and unbelievable lives.
We are under attack.
We are dying.
We are dying.
We are dying.
Adults, teenagers, children and babies.
More than 100 families are losing their loved ones every day.
But this number could be much smaller if the hospitals had the basic necessary infrastructure.
We need your help.
The traditional people of the Amazon need your help.
The Amazon rainforest needs your help.
Our future needs your help. There are multiple ways to contribute. Manaus hospitals are lacking medicines, respirators, and basic protection items.
And if you are unable to provide great quantities of supplies, keep in mind that even the smallest of actions can have a huge positive impact on people's lives.
Just please, don't refrain from trying to help us. Don't abandon us in this crucial moment. We beg the parliaments and the governments of the countries watching this. You can help avoid an irreversible tragedy.
Because a massacre is going to happen.
We must defend them from our federal government's neglective and irresponsible actions.
And now we must protect them from this lethal virus.
The consequences of the Amazon people's death and the destruction of the Amazon rainforest will be global.
Anyone that can, please help.
Salvem a Amazônia.
Salvem a Amazônia.
Salvem a Amazônia.
Salve a Amazônia.
Salvem a Amazônia.
Did you know that the Amazon basin is home to some 400 distinct indigenous peoples, each with their own culture and knowledge systems?
Olá a todos, eu sou Eric Terena, DJ e produtor de música eletrônica, membro da mídia índia. Eu quero aqui agradecer aos artistas globais unidos pela Amazônia, que hoje estão fazendo esse festival, um momento muito importante onde nós, povos indígenas, precisamos da colaboração de vocês do mundo. A gente está passando por um momento muito difícil de pandemia e não é a primeira vez que nós, povos indígenas, passamos por esse momento em nossos territórios e é com a colaboração de vocês que a gente pode combater o coronavírus e também a invasão dos nossos territórios. A gente segue junto nessa luta por meio da música, da cultura, da arte, sangue indígena, nenhuma gota mais.
Piali, Kentimawika, Nanatoka Shiteskat, Tanatiu. My name is Shiteskat. My people are the Mexica peoples of Mexico Tenochtitlan. I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, I'm an organizer with Earth Guardians, and I'm grateful to be a part of this broadcast alongside so many other powerful artists and visionaries and voices out there who are lending their platform to speak on an absolutely critical issue that is truly connecting each and every one of us. Since the beginning of this pandemic, we have seen across the globe how marginalized and frontlines communities have experienced the worst of the impacts of this pandemic, that the systems of injustice and oppression across the globe continue to threaten our ways of life, our ability to protect our own land. I am grateful to be standing in solidarity with the indigenous communities of the Amazon in this dire moment where, as a global community, this can be a point where we pivot and we change and transform our relationship with our indigenous relatives as allies, as artists, as storytellers, as supporters, as everyday people. From this moment forward, we are calling on everybody to support and use your voice, use your platform, use your social media to help spread awareness around the impacts of this pandemic in indigenous communities in the Amazon and the greater work of stopping extractive industries from coming and exploiting indigenous territories, which ultimately affects each and every one of us. So again, thank you everybody for playing your part, for being a part of this. And I'm excited I'm gonna share a couple verses that I feel like are relevant to this moment. And the first one starts, says, yo quiero que me entierre como mis antepasados, regresar a la tierra todo que me ha dado, a mi gente, a la tierra de mis ancestros. Tengo sangre mexica, regreso a mi pueblo, regreso de nuevo, desde el suelo al cielo, traigo en mi boca la palabra de mis abuelos, con mis pies en la tierra, mi visión hacia el sol, y soy un guerrero buscando lo que se perdió. Yo perdí mi idioma, se perdió mi papá, las fronteras en su mente todavía hay que cruzar, en el viento oscuro en una vasija de barro. Yo quiero que me entierre como mis antepasados. My people been singing with their hands up. You could show yourself out if you came to see something average. We came as a family, not an industry standard. I'd rather drown together than leave my fam behind. Without them, I wouldn't have shit. I hope you can feel the magic. I'm living life grounded, steady, finding a balance. Raised by warriors, ready for any challenge. You hype on the small swells. We were born to ride mavericks. This is the turning of the tides. There I was, 6 years old, my eyes wide open. I saw the storm, city swallowed up by the ocean. Humanity messed up, look at the world broken. I want to see the borders open. I wrote this music, it was something I found hope in. My generation finally seeing the web woven. Everything is connected, my generation was chosen to guide the way to the light. You see, this is our movement. We walk on roads paved by every great leader of every revolution. We doing it our way. And this is a celebration. If love is resistance, resisting is in our nature. We'll show up by the thousands, people of every nation. We'll summit the highest mountain to prove to them we can make it. It starts right here, right now. Every one of you has light within. Now is the time to shine out. Hands up if you feel it too. This music is a movement. It's proof if you feel it moving you. Because the power of the people is more powerful than people in power. I believe that this can be our finest hour. Tla sukamati.
We're living through dark times, socially, politically, and environmentally. Wars, threat of wars, the use of nuclear weapons, violence, migrants, poverty, all caused by our lack of respect for each other and the materialistic, unsustainable lifestyles and lack of spirituality and lust for power in which so many of us are caught up. We're in the midst of a major pandemic and we face a climate crisis. Both of these are being caused by our lack of respect for the natural world, the environment, and the other animals who inhabit planet Earth. It is desperately important that we join hands around the world and take action, each one of us, now, before it's too late.
Hi, my name is Shia Bastida, and I'm an 18-year-old climate justice activist from the Otomi-Toltec peoples of the highlands of central Mexico. Today, we're asking for your help to raise your voice against two crises that are going on in the Amazon. The first one is the climate crisis that has been going on for a while now and is endangering ecosystems, habitats, indigenous communities, traditions, and culture. The second one is the COVID-19 pandemic, which only exacerbates all the other issues that are already happening. We have to come together as a global community and realize that crises are opportunities for us to do better and learn from our past mistakes. We have to be there for each other, because now that we are in an era of globalization, we can't say that we don't know. And because we do know, we have to be there for the communities who are at the front lines of these different issues. Thank you.
Hello people, my name is Rocky DAWUN and I'm coming to you live and direct from Ghana. I am doing this song in support of all the indigenous people in the Amazon and their fight to protect their homeland, their fight to protect their way of living, their fight to protect this incredible resource that is for all of humanity. So today, we all stand with you in your fight. This song is called Road to Destiny. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Like a leaf blowing in the wind. There is no place I want to call my own. I struggle just to make it through on the road to destiny. My mama said, son, don't you ever give anything you can't afford to lose. Men will try to seize control of your road in destiny. Destiny, destiny. Destiny, destiny. Run, run, run as fast as I can outrun my fate. Destiny, destiny. Let me be destiny. Here's my life, my life, my life, and all I have is faith. So many questions have I asked. The answers don't amount to solutions. But I never give up hope on the road to destiny. For time is always right to do what is right. With all my mind I strive to write a chapter in this book of life on the road to destiny. Destiny, 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 destiny. Run, run, run as fast as I can outrun my fate. Destiny, destiny. Let me be destiny. Yes, my life, my life, my life, and all I have is faith. Oh, 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 na, 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 na.
Amazon forest is the largest tropical forest on the planet. It's almost the size of Australia. And it is a kind of a biological heart for the planet because it holds the largest biodiversity on Earth, also supports the climate stabilization. It's a very important mechanism. The Amazon forest recycles water very efficiently. It rains year-round. And that climate forest interactions maintain this immense biodiversity and stabilize the climate. It holds a huge amount of carbon. And if we lose that carbon, it will end up in the atmosphere as a greenhouse gas and really making it almost impossible to reach the goals of the Paris Agreement to combat climate crisis. So the Amazon is really an essential biospheric element for us to be able to maintain the planet and to find sustainable ways for the planet.
Did you know that in the southern Amazon dry season, temperatures are already 3 degrees Celsius higher than in the 1980s, and the dry season is getting longer, exceeding 4 months in some regions?
El pacto de COVID-19 continúa en todas partes del mundo, en nuestras comunidades y para muchos de nosotros en nuestros hogares. Más de 4.000 millones de personas, casi la mitad de la población mundial, ha tenido que buscar refugio en casa. El COVID-19 se ha extendido por las comunidades indígenas de las Amazonias con un efecto devastador. Las prácticas destructivas de deforestación se están acelerando de manera increíble y van a llegar directamente a las tierras indígenas. Estas comunidades son desproporcionalmente vulnerables a las enfermedades. Necesitamos buscar ayuda para los guardianes del bosque, los guardianes de la sabiduría. Ser escudos mientras ellos protegen y defienden las Amazonias para todos nosotros. Necesitamos proteger a los protectores. Cuando protegemos a los guardianes del bosque, garantizamos la protección del corazón del planeta, el corazón de la humanidad. Había un mundo antes y habrá un mundo después de esta época. Únete conmigo, apoyemos el Fondo de Emergencia para las Amazonias, demandando el paro de la actividad extractiva y la deforestación en los territorios indígenas de todas las Amazonias. Podemos hacer esto. Lo podemos hacer juntos. Lo podemos hacer ahora. Lo debemos hacer ya. Gracias.
Hi, my name is Malachi, and I am 7 years old. I am a member of the Cree Nation. I stand with the indigenous kids in the Amazon.
Hello, good people. My name is Chloe Smith from the band Rising Appalachia. And we stand in solidarity with the people of the Amazon and the Amazon forest in this event, protecting the protectors, which is more important now than ever in these difficult times. So I wanted to lend my voice and our movement and missions and actions and attention to this movement. Artists for Amazon, the Amazon Emergency Relief Fund, all of these things are so important in bringing us together and supporting our people down south. So I'm going to play a song for you all called Resilient, which is about all of these things, standing up for what you believe in, coming back to one's original form after being bent or broken, and finding the strength in hard times. So here's the song. I am resilient, I trust the movement, I negate the chaos, uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to listen. Whoa, 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 whoa. These times are poignant, the winds have shifted. It's all we can do to stay uplifted. Pipelines through backyards, wolves howling out front. Yeah, I got my crew, but truth is what I want. Realigned and on point, power to the peaceful, prayers to the waters, women at the center, all vessels open to give and receive. Let's see the system brought down to its knees. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm made of thunder, I'm made of lightning, I'm made of dirt, yeah, made of the fine things. My father taught me that I'm a speck of dust, and this world was made for me, so let's go and try our luck, see. I've got my roots down, 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 deep. I've got my roots down, 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 deep. So what are we doing here? What has been done? What are you gonna do about it when the world comes undone? My voice feels tiny, and I'm sure so does yours. Put us all together, make the mighty roar. I am resilient, I trust the movement, I negate the chaos, uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to listen.
It's time to protect the protectors. When we stand with them as they fight for their rights and territories, we are also protecting ourselves and the planet. As for the fight to protect ourselves in these times, we're hearing so many horrific stories here in the United States about COVID-19 outbreaks inside our country's meatpacking plants. One of the largest of these, JBS, happens to be a Brazilian company and is the world's largest producer of beef. With cattle ranching and grazing being the leading drivers of deforestation in the Brazilian rainforest, it has never been clearer how our personal health is connected to the food we eat and to those who grow and process that food. Lives are in the balance. Inside the Amazon, inside our meat processing plants, inside our homes, we are all connected now. In this critical time of an international health crisis, protecting the heart of the planet is the same as protecting our own hearts. Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund and demand a halt to extractive activity and deforestation on indigenous territories across the Amazon. We can do this now, today, together. Thank you.
Did you know that beef and soy production are responsible for the most significant amount of deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon?
Hi, we're the Brothers Corin, and we're honored to be here, standing in solidarity and care for the earth, moving out of a culture of greed and moving into a world of change in a world that works for everyone. This song is a dedication and a request that the leaders of our time heed our call for change. It's called Everything's Changing. Time moves slowly. I watch my feet as I'm falling into the moments. I burn like queen, replaying my heart to the pulsing generation. Where the ground is shaking, nothing is steadfast. It's like you couldn't rely on love to keep you falling in so fast. When everything's changing now, oh, I wanna stay close. When everything's changing now, oh, I wanna cry out. Everything's changing. My change reaction. Don't wanna feel safe. Don't wanna ride out to see it, to really see it. Ooh, and all the lead is taken, and nothing's far keeps taken by the monkeys and dreamers. You're ready to lose it. Oh, images exploding in my mind. It's like I couldn't rely on reasoning to get you through this time. And everything's changing now. Oh, I wanna stay close. And everything's changing now. Oh, I wanna cry out. Everything's changing. One instrument of change and power and empowerment and connection is our voice. And we all have a voice. Our mission is to hear the world's song one voice at a time. We ask that all of the protectors of the rainforest speak up, use their voice, and empower yourselves. And let's protect those protectors and protect their voices. And let's hear them out. Sing after me in your homes. Ready? Everything changes. No, 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 yeah. Everything changes. No, 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 yeah. Everything changes. Yes. Everything's changing. Everything's changing now. Yeah. Oh, I wanna stay close. Everything's changing now. Yeah. Oh, I wanna cry out. Everything's changing. Thank you. Time is now.
Hoje, a floresta está triste. Os rios estão secando. Os pássaros não cantam mais, só sabem chorar. O céu sangra e as borboletas voam para longe. Na minha aldeia, as crianças ardem em febre e queimam até mesmo o sopro do pajé. Somos sobreviventes, precisamos viver. Somos o grito da floresta. Somos os peixes subindo a correnteza. Somos a revoada das araras no pôr do sol. Somos os filhos dessa terra. A floresta é nossa e nós somos a floresta. No mar, nai nekem renanya cang numaren nategem renice verige tama marana vicege verige tama marana vicege numa rena awen numa rena awen DAWUN rena pu itu beroga kejavana egu beroga kejavana egu chau chaneva buata reti aunegu jukar fen retia aengu name imae name imae ji em magane I ông gà gơi nay nè cơ vai ji em magane I chone I gơ te ai trái vai gơ ji em magane ngõ ở gơi to trên mơ magane mai joga idui pora nya inai ne kai tora ni nya inai ne kai tora ni ji magane mai joga idui pora inai ne kai tora ni nya inai ne kai tora ni nya inai ne kai tora ni nya inai ne kai tora ni.
I think of the rainforest as also the heartbeat of our earth. Because if we didn't have the rainforest, the earth would die, and we certainly would.
In this critical time of an international health crisis, protecting the heart of the planet is protecting our own hearts.
Now is the time for us to see that the threats to the Amazon are threats to all of us.
The decisions we make every day can be the difference between thriving together or destroying our vital partnership with the planet.
COVID-19 has spread to the indigenous communities in the Amazon and is having a devastating effect.
We must stand with the indigenous communities who are the guardians of the forest.
These wisdom keepers of the old ways need us to stand with them.
And particularly the elders need us to defend them the way they have been defending the forest with their lives for centuries.
When we protect the land and the indigenous peoples who have the traditional knowledge of the health of these forests, we protect ourselves too.
They are the defenders and protectors of the rivers and forests critical to the health of this planet.
I am an ally. Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund.
I'm going to support the Amazon Emergency Fund and the moratorium on deforestation to protect the indigenous guardians of the Amazon.
Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund.
Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund.
We need your help.
A Amazônia somos todos nós. Artistas pela Amazônia. Estamos juntos.
And now we have a message from Lizardo Cauper, who's the president of IDESEP, which is Peru's national indigenous organization. Lizardo.
Yo soy Lizardo Cauper Peso, del pueblo shipibo de la región Ucayali, actual presidente de IDESEP, que representa más de 2.000 comunidades en toda la Amazonía peruana, con 109 federaciones locales y 9 organizaciones regionales. Desde la Amazonía peruana quiero informar la situación real que vive los pueblos indígenas amazónicos del Perú. La situación es crítica porque la pandemia COVID-19 ya llegó en nuestras comunidades y están contagiados, nuestros hermanos están muriendo, nuestros hermanos están en cama enfermos y eso nos preocupa bastante. Yo que viví en carne propia con esta enfermedad, con este virus COVID-19, me siento muy preocupado por mis hermanos. Y es por eso que nosotros hemos demandado, como también hemos propuesto al gobierno, a la estructura del Estado peruano, con una demanda de atención sanitaria inmediato diferenciada. Quiero expresar que el gobierno peruano tiene que detener todas las actividades extractivas, todas las empresas mineras, forestales o petroleras, como por ejemplo Ocho Sur, que viene trabajando y pone en riesgo a nuestra población indígena de contagio. Igualmente la empresa petrolera Geopar. Nosotros más de 500 años venimos contribuyendo como pueblos indígenas al mundo, conservando, protegiendo nuestra biodiversidad y nuestros territorios como un sistema de control y vigilancia territorial ancestral. Eso permite que los pueblos indígenas estamos contribuyendo con el mundo. Finalmente, quiero llamar atención a la comunidad internacional, que nos sigan apoyando en esta pandemia que vivimos, que ese fondo está llegando hacia las comunidades a través de nuestras federaciones y organizaciones regionales, con víveres o con algunos medicamentos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much, my goodness. So we are getting an abundance of people requesting to donate, and I just wanted to point you in the right direction. Go to amazonemergencyfund.org. Go there, donate, be generous. This is a really big deal. Thank you guys so much. We must continue to elevate our message and expand this unprecedented collaboration. And it's working. Our voices are being heard from tiny remote villages in the Amazon to Times Square in New York City. And this is the crazy thing, right? We're all in this place where our lives are changed, and we are feeling all of the effects of this global transition, and we're all dealing with a lot of grief and uncertainty. And these feelings, they can be quite new and unfamiliar to many of us around the world, but these feelings are not new and familiar to the indigenous people of the Amazon rainforest. A lot of you know this, so forgive me if I'm saying something you already know, but since the early 16th century, the colonization of the forest and its peoples has been non-stop. For 500 years, violence and arrogance and theft and destruction of the land and the people by other people who came from very far away and had no idea how things worked over there in the Amazon rainforest. And it's really been like an endless array of devastation. The true people of the Amazon, they knew that they were living, that they live inside this mysterious treasure. They know that still, and they have mad respect for it. And they also know the value of leaving certain treasures in the ground. And they know the value of keeping things in a beautiful way and keeping things in a balanced way, not taking too much, reciprocity. But we have lost sight of all of these things over time, putting profit above everything else, even the sanctity of life, which is really crazy. And this is what is threatening us today. So what now? right? We have become used to this way that we live. You know, we take this all for granted. I include myself in that equation completely. And yet our culture of comfort, our culture of being comfortable, it relies on a culture of extraction. And that is powered by greed. And that drives the drilling of the oil and the mining of the minerals and the cutting down of the forest, which brings the Amazon every single day closer to collapse. But I do not consent. You don't have to either, you know? This is why we're here. So stay with us. I know this is difficult and emotional, and there's a lot of information here, but there is so much more to come. And just really take in this music, take in the opportunity to feel the celebration of the natural world.
My name is Ivan Lins. I'm a Brazilian songwriter and musician. I'm here to play a song for you that is called My Country. In Portuguese, Meu País. And it's a song about the beauty of my country and the pain we feel when something is going badly, like it's going now. Our government, using the coronavirus situation, is not protecting our tribes, our Indians. So it looks like they want to exterminate them and invade their territories to put fire. Exactly like they are doing with the rainforests. This is really bad. For us, it is a crime, and we need to stop them. We have to stop them. So that's why we are here, asking for you to help us, to support us. Please help the Amazon, the rainforest, and our Indians. We need you.
Aqui é meu país, nos seios da minha amada, nos olhos da perdiz, na lua, na invernada, nas trilhas, estradas que vês que vão ao céu, ao coração. Aqui é meu país, de botas, cavalo, histórias, de aras e sacis, violas cantando glórias, vitórias, ponteiros e desafios no peito do Brasil. Me diz como ser feliz em outro lugar. Me diz como ser feliz em outro lugar. Aqui é meu país. Aqui sou um passarinho que as penas estão por dentro. Por isso aprendi a cantar, voar, voar, voar. Me diz como ser feliz em outro lugar. 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 Meu país.
Wow, you gotta love Yvonne Lintz's music. Thank you, Yvonne, for that really beautiful song. I'm Herbie Hancock, and I had the honor of narrating Amazon Aid Foundation's powerful documentary called River of Gold, about the devastating impact of gold mining in the Amazonian rainforest. Unfortunately, since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, regulations have relaxed and gold mining is expanding across the Amazon. Pristine forests are being destroyed and indigenous people are being confronted with increasing violence and disease, including COVID-19. The mine workers who have come to the Amazon, many out of extreme poverty, are also vulnerable and often victimized by organized crime, including human trafficking, mercury poisoning, money laundering, and child slavery. It's up to us to ask important questions about where our gold comes from, just as we are becoming more aware of how our food and clothing is sourced. The gold we buy should not be a death sentence for the communities whose land and water are being destroyed for profit. During this critical international health crisis, we must rise together to help protect the protectors of the forest. Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund and the moratorium on deforestation to protect the indigenous guardians of the Amazon.
At first glance, it's almost like looking at the Grand Canyon in America, but then when you actually start to really understand what you're looking at, it hits you even harder. Everybody's affected because the Amazon has such an important environmental impact.
We're at that moment where if we are not acting, the scale goes in another direction. This is critical moments, more than ever in history.
The Amazon is at a real crossroads. It's very close to a tipping point.
Gold mining is one of the underlying things that's destroying this enormous rainforest. It's like the Wild West.
The government launched an operation last year to destroy dredgers.
Peruvian police raid an illegal mining operation.
Rising global demand for gold has also fueled demand for a far less prized metal, mercury. Mercury from small-scale mines travels widely, moving up the food chain into fish and humans.
Probably more than 100 police here, and they're bringing the fight to the miners. They've come in helicopter because it's just too far to get to by foot.
Many miners are determined to fight. In March, 3 died while protesting against the new laws.
The price of gold reached an all-time high this month, surpassing $1,800 an ounce.
Illegal gold mining is a $2.9 billion industry, moving more money than drug trafficking. As long as the global price of gold remains high, this activity will continue.
Gold mining in the Amazon basically is all about negatives. It's really bad for the environment. It rips up river systems and adjacent forest. It affects the miners with terrible social problems, mercury pollution. The mercury pollution actually then gets in the food chain and affects the other people in the watershed. And in the end, the gold miners are sort of the victims. They only get twice what their income would be if they were in the highlands, and they have all these social and health problems as well. So it's hard to see any plus about it unless you were the shadowy figures at the end of the economic chain that ends up producing gold that goes on to somebody's wristband or pin or earring.
Hello. Thank you very much for being here. And I suppose a question at the moment on the planet we are all forced to ask ourselves is, how hard is it to breathe without the cooperation of your lungs? And it would follow we should ask the same question of, how will this planet breathe without its lungs, the Amazon? And so let's think of them that way when we're wondering about how much we need to do or what we need to do. We must take care of them, I think. Emergency.
Planets around the sun, only one does the sun embrace, and upon this watered one, so much we take for granted. So let us sleep outside tonight, lay down in our mother's arms, for here we can rest safely. And if crumble away and rivers dry, would it stop our stepping feet? Oh, let us sleep outside tonight, lay down in our mother's arms, for here we can rest safely. Take all that we can get when it's done. Nobody left to bury here, nobody left to dig the holes, and here we can rest safely. One sweet world around this star is spinning. One sweet world, and in her breath we're swimming, and here we will rest in peace.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you're doing good.
Did you know that losing more than 20% of the Amazon would lead to a tipping point where the rainforest would turn into a grassy savanna within 50 years? We must act now. We are nearly there.
A situação do avanço da pandemia do coronavírus nos nossos territórios, nas florestas da Amazônia inteira, está em situação crítica. Está avançando, isso tem nos preocupado muito, porque isso atinge diretamente a vida das populações, dos povos indígenas que vivem e dependem de forma direta dessas florestas. Os nossos territórios pedem socorro pelo avanço não só da pandemia neste momento, mas o aumento grave, o aumento muito grande do desmatamento. O desmatamento não só acelera o avanço da pandemia aos nossos territórios, as nossas vidas, mas também ela desequilibra o nosso modo de vida, o nosso modo de viver nos territórios indígenas. Nós, povos indígenas, estamos em situação de vulnerabilidade devido à fragilidade da proteção desses territórios, devido ao avanço do coronavírus, devido ao aumento do desmatamento. É hora de juntarmos todos aqui pela proteção dos territórios, pela proteção das florestas e pela proteção da vida das pessoas que dependem diretamente dos recursos dessa floresta. É a hora de juntarmos nessa campanha, junte-se a nós, povos indígenas, pela defesa da Amazônia, pela defesa dos nossos direitos e pela defesa da vida da humanidade com a proteção dos territórios e da Amazônia.
Hi, I'm John Quigley with Artists for Amazonia. We were all shocked last year when we saw those images from space of the giant fires in the Amazon. And from that shock came an awakening and a massive wave of support from artists and influencers all over the world. Artists for Amazonia was born in response to that tragic moment. And while we can't all gather together right now because of the virus, we can stand together, shoulder to shoulder, from where we are to advocate for urgent action to protect indigenous peoples and the Amazon. We invite all of you, all artists, creatives, and influencers, and really every one of us is an influencer in our own community, to join this movement and give your unique talent to help us tell this story. We're reaching a tipping point, and you can help us go in the right direction. And on behalf of Artists for Amazonia, our entire team, I want to thank all of the artists who generously gave of their time and talent to make this live stream possible to benefit the Amazon Emergency Fund. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Giselle Bunchen, and I'm so honored to be a part of this great event. Most importantly, because it gives us hope in these difficult times. The coronavirus pandemic affects all of us, but especially the indigenous peoples of the Amazon and other forests around the world. We stand shoulder to shoulder with these rainforest guardians during this period of grave threat to their lives, cultures, and homes. We know that the best cure for this pandemic and the only lasting vaccine against future pandemics is to take better care of Mother Nature. I believe the regeneration of destroyed forests is key, and that by combining indigenous wisdom and ancient knowledge with modern methods, we can achieve a lot. For instance, in the Xingu indigenous territory in Brazil, an amazing forest seed bank initiative is already helping to recreate a real rainforest. This pandemic shows us more than anything that we need to do things differently. Our old way of living is no longer feasible. But first, let's help protect those most at risk. Right here, right now, we are planting the seeds of a new way of thinking, collaborating, and living together. Whether you live in a city, a forest, or someplace in between, we are all in this together. No matter who you are or where you call home, you can contribute. Let's come together to learn more, raise greater awareness, and show our solidarity with those fighting to protect the world's forests that are so vital for human survival. By donating to this great cause, united, we can do it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Luciana Souza, and I'm here with my good friend, fellow Brazilian guitarist Romero Lubambo. We all need to come together now to protect the rights and the territories of the indigenous people of the Amazon at this time of urgent need. Please join us by adding your voice and your support to this very important global effort. Here's a song by the great Ivan Lins.
Vamos lá, Lu. Aparecida, vamos lá.
Vamos lá. Me conta por onde é que você andou. Me conta por que é que você não tem mais aquela feição, não tem mais a mesma euforia, não tem mais a mesma paixão. Sumir desse jeito não tem cabimento. Me conta quem foi, por que foi e tudo que você passou. Preciso saber seu tormento, preciso saber da aflição. Que a verdade escondida é mentira, é medo, me diz, Aparecida, me diz, Aparecida. verdade escondida, é mentira, é medo, me diz, Aparecida, Obrigada, Romero. Obrigada.
I'm David Suzuki in lockdown on an island off the west coast of Canada. Here, as everywhere, every breath I inhale and every drink I take have oxygen and water molecules that have cartwheeled from the Amazon around the planet. Nature doesn't care about borders, religions, governments, laws, or economies. Those are just human constructs. As biological beings, we are animals that need clean air, clean water, clean soil and food, and clean energy from the sun, which are all recycled endlessly by the web of life. For our own survival and well-being as a species, we have a responsibility to protect nature so she can continue to be productive and generous. Let us love, celebrate, and promise to protect one of the irreplaceable treasures of the planet.
Olá, meu nome é Neymar Leandro Marido Kiga, sou indígena do povo Boy Bororo e sou homossexual. Faço parte do coletivo Tibira, que é voltado sobre a temática de indígenas LGBTs, e temos como objetivo apoiar, acolher e dar visibilidade a essa causa, que aqui no Brasil, principalmente, é praticamente invisível. Nós, povos indígenas, estamos precisando de toda ajuda e de todo apoio neste momento de pandemia e isolamento social. Nós, povos indígenas, somos mais vulneráveis à doença do não indígena. E nós, povos indígenas, queremos continuar vivos, continuar existindo e resistindo, buscando lutar pelos nossos direitos. Nós, povos indígenas, queremos salvar a Mãe Terra, que também neste momento está precisando de ajuda. A Mãe Natureza, ela precisa de nós, povos indígenas, e nós também precisamos dela. Salvar a natureza é salvar o mundo, salvar a vida dos animais, das aves e até mesmo das pessoas não indígenas. O governo atual, muitas vezes, ele quer destruir a natureza, e destruir a natureza é referir a nós também. E nós não queremos que isso aconteça. Neste momento, a união, a solidariedade é capaz de salvar vidas. Muito obrigado.
Did you know that 90% of all deforestation in the Amazon occurs within 10 kilometers of a road?
The saying goes, the grass is greener on the other side. But through our perfectly mended fences and sewage-thick privilege, the grass is burning on the other side. On the other side, the government is just as corrupted as ours. On the other side, the president of Brazil promotes pillaging pariahs of their native land. Life is being burnt before his eyes, so naturally he sends tweets about soccer teams and leisurely sits as the trees on the other side are being cut down for rubber, soybeans, and beef. The other side is frightening how lives of activists are sacrificed for farming. What about Chico, who was killed in cold blood over protecting people in their lands? The other side of the ground is bloodshed red. His legacy is being set on fire for the benefit of capitalism, and the very lands that are protected in the name of Chico are being illegally stripped down. On the other side, the sky is the color of arson. The fight for the Amazon to the indigenous guardians is a matter of life or death. You get shot down over rubber trees or sacrificed for protecting your property. On this side, I realize there is no other side. Even now, while the world's lungs are stuck at home, the planet's heart is failing. The Amazon's sensitive chambers can't be guarded in a pandemic. I pray that on the other side, green, wide-stretching forests don't burn down into graveyards. Inside my mind, hope paints pictures of tall rubber trees, green leaves and blue background of smoke-free skies, and green as far as the eyes can see. And everybody lives, and everybody breathes, and the forest breathes, and the trees breathe, and the Amazon breathes life into us in future generations. We can reverse this. Donate to Amazon Emergency Fund now.
Olá, eu sou Maria Gadu, sou cantora, compositora e ativista das causas indígenas. E antes de mais nada, eu queria fazer uma saudação a todos os povos originários do mundo inteiro e, sobretudo, aos parentes brasileiros, aos nossos indígenas, nossos cuidadores de tantos biomas múltiplos que o Brasil abriga, carrega e descuida. Há antes disso e depois disso muitas coisas. O Brasil vem lutando através dos povos indígenas há mais de 520 anos para que haja uma transformação de comportamento, para que a gente se sinta mais parte da natureza, se sinta mais parte dos animais. Enfim, a gente vem atravessando tempos nebulosos, desmatamento, grilagem, genocídio, e há um destempero numérico. Enquanto números aumentam, outros diminuem. Os números que aumentam são dos hectares que são desmatados na Amazônia todos os dias, e os números que diminuem são a quantidade dos povos indígenas por conta do genocídio. Então, essa conta tem que ser invertida. Nós temos que ter mais povos indígenas e menos desmatamento. E é por isso que eu agradeço a Amazon Watch pela organização dessa live com tantas pessoas que eu admiro, tantas pessoas ativistas, indígenas, artistas, unindo suas vozes a esse chamado. É um grande chamado da Mãe Terra e essa luta é de todos nós. Por meio disso, venho pedir a você que está aí ouvindo na sua casa, que colabore com o Fundo de Emergência da Amazônia, que dê as mãos a todas essas pessoas, a essa causa que é sua também, e que a gente possa reverter esse quadro. Enfim, chegou nessa hora. O Brasil já sofreu muitas pandemias e essas pandemias têm uma ação muito, muito maléfica nos povos indígenas. Isso é histórico e a Covid-19 já vem trazendo para a gente grandes tristezas, grandes perdas, e que a gente consiga reverter esse quadro. E a gente reverte esse quadro cuidando, se importando e agindo. Eu vou cantar uma canção que me emociona, que me impulsiona, do Beto Guedes e do Ronaldo Bastos, e deixo um abraço apertado mesmo de longe a todos vocês e a todos os parentes. Anda, quero te dizer nenhum segredo. Falo desse chão da nossa casa. Vem que tá na hora de arrumar. Quero viver mais 200 anos. Quero não ferir meu semelhante. Nem por isso quero me ferir. Vamos precisar de todo mundo pra banir do mundo a opressão, pra melhor juntar as nossas forças. Vamos precisar de muito amor. A felicidade mora ao lado e quem não é tolo pode ver. A paz na terra, amor. O pé na terra, amor. A paz na terra, amor. O sal da terra. És o mais bonito dos planetas. te maltratando por dinheiro. Tu que és a nave, nossa irmã, canta, leva tua vida em harmonia e nos alimenta com teus frutos. Tu que és do homem a maçã, vamos precisar de todo mundo. Mais um é sempre mais que dois para construir a vida nova. É só dividir melhor o pão, recriar o paraíso agora, para merecer quem vem depois. Deixa nascer o amor, deixa fluir o amor, deixa viver amor, deixa crescer o amor, o sal da terra, erehé inhawit.
Did you know that research has confirmed that the most effective way to protect forests is to support the rights and territories of indigenous and local communities?
Olá, sou Ângela Mendes, filha do líder ambientalista Chico Mendes. O Brasil está vivendo um momento muito grave. A pandemia associada a um governo genocida que demonstra uma atitude criminosa e destruidora contra a Amazônia. Seguimos nos ideais do meu pai, lutando por uma aliança dos povos da floresta que unifique populações tradicionais e povos originários, e todos que acreditam e lutam por uma vida harmoniosa e sustentável dentro da floresta e que respeite a natureza e as pessoas que nela vivem. O desmatamento no Brasil cresceu 133% de janeiro a abril em relação ao mesmo período do ano de 2019. A maior floresta tropical do mundo está sendo destruída. Isso trará graves consequências para o planeta. Precisamos juntos lutar pela vida e pela Amazônia. Chico vive!
Running like the moon's out, hunting with a pack till I'm going bring the wolves out. I've been in the jungle searching for that agua pura. Desaparecido, renací under la luna. Flexing, putting work repeat, it's time to pay my dues. Now, oh, this is a shootout, there ain't no rules without a ruler. They plot to cook, they wanting the jewels get removed. Yeah, who got the power? This for my warriors for the future. Watch them bust a move, I'ma pass it off the true now. Mama said be careful when you rolling with your crew now. Watch them kids whining as soon as they let the schools out. I just hit the lake full speed with a team. EGs, we been pushing mama's dream up on the scene. Land back to my people, that's all that we need. Hasta que el pueblo reclama todo el país. Juntando todos los colores del maíz, las flores de mi cultura latinoamericano. Mi gente del campo, morena la tierra, para todos mis hermanos, luchando en la selva, luchando en la guerra. Pues en todo el pueblo somos las flechas, culebras negras quité la cabeza. Protege la agua, sigue las abuelas. Ojos obsidianas con piel de canela. I see in the vision, we running the mission. That scotch in the rhythm, K-Dot the precision. Too hot for the kitchen, they love how I switch it. Idiomas somos palomas, you suckers is chickens. Too real to run with any of these fake politicians. Selling that home, my sister's been murdered and missing. We ain't riding no wave, we protecting our ways. We ain't leaving the land we came from, we here to reclaim. Yeah, I'ma pass it off, watch us do it for the land. Yeah, juntando las manos Amazonas, we gon' stand. Yeah, just for the future, got our future in our hand. Yeah, watch us do it for my people, do it for the land.
Deforestation in the Brazilian rainforest has increased by 50% since the global pandemic took hold. Reduced oversight in remote regions has made it easier for loggers and mineral mining to go unchecked, which also increases the spread of the COVID-19. In this critical time of the international health crisis, protecting the heart of the planet is the same as protecting our own heart. Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund and demand a halt to logging and mining on indigenous territories across the Amazon. This will not only help protect the rainforest, but it will help slow the introduction of COVID-19 into indigenous territories to help protect them as well. We can do this now, today, together. Thank you very much. I look forward to this to happen with your help.
Hi, I'm Mickey Sumner. I'm a mother, activist, and an actress. I'm so grateful you are here with us to support the Amazon Emergency Fund at this critical time. As we enter this new era of life with COVID, we must use this time for some much needed self-reflection. We cannot sustain our old way of living. Life cannot go back to normal. We must understand and we must acknowledge, as uncomfortable as it may be, our own complicity in consumerism and harmful policies that sustain the need for production, profit, and exploitation of indigenous territory, indigenous resources, and indigenous peoples across the world. In a time when powerful government like the United States lack true leadership, failing their citizens as they choose economics over human lives, now is a time to listen to, learn from, and honor indigenous leaders who are powerfully responding to this crisis as they organize to protect their communities, their ancestral lands, their children's future. We must fiercely support and stand in solidarity with the very people who are on the front lines, guarding our sacred planet, protecting our future. Our actions make a difference. Thank you.
Did you know that the Amazon River is the world's largest river by volume? Larger than the flow of the world's next 6 largest rivers combined?
Yakon Rata is a Shipibo Kaniba great-grandmother healer. What a legend. The song that she's going to offer, it's a cleansing to our homes, to our bodies, and a call for help from the spirit world and the spirits of the plants of the forest to heal and protect the elders and all the creatures across the Amazon.
Did you know that despite the COVID-19 shutdown, the rate of deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon has increased by 55% from this time last year? Did you know that putting pressure on companies that finance Amazon deforestation, like BlackRock, is an effective way to stand in solidarity with indigenous peoples and halt the destruction?
Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in today, considering these tumultuous and truly transformative times that we're all living in. We're here, we're coming together for the Amazon and indigenous peoples, and we're coming together for climate justice, which is racial justice, social justice, and environmental justice. We recognize that the same systems of oppression that violate indigenous rights, the Amazon, and Mother Earth are the same that oppress and violate Black lives. We stand in solidarity. My name is Leila Salazar Lopez, and I am the Executive Director of Amazon Watch. And as you've heard, the Amazon and its peoples are in a state of emergency due to the ongoing invasions and colonization of indigenous lands, due to fires, floods, deforestation, climate change, and now the COVID-19 pandemic. And with every day that passes and the virus spreads across the Amazon basin, the possibility of ethnocide is real. In the last month alone, the number of cases have nearly tripled across the Amazon. As of June 22nd, World Rainforest Day, there are over 365,000 reported cases and nearly 13,000 deaths due to COVID-19 across the Amazon, the majority in Brazil. It's likely these numbers are much higher and will continue to increase if immediate action is not taken. These are not just cases and numbers. They're lives. They are elders. They are guardians. They are irreplaceable wisdom keepers who hold knowledge and the healing for humanity and Mother Earth. They have called upon us to show our solidarity, and we are responding to the immediate and urgent requests across the Amazon, including food and medical supplies to affected areas and communications to prevent the virus from further spreading across the 9 Amazon countries. We are also launching international advocacy campaigns in solidarity with Indigenous peoples of the Amazon. Thank you to all of you who have joined us in calling for an immediate moratorium on activity, on any extractive activity that includes entering of foreigners into Indigenous lands, such as logging, mining, oil exploration and extraction, agribusiness expansion, religious proselytization, or increased militarization. Over 250 international organizations have signed on to this moratorium, and we demand that Amazonian governments and the corporations that are doing business there immediately cease and desist all destructive and extractive activities on Indigenous lands. We demand that financiers like BlackRock and JP Morgan Chase stop funding the destruction of the Amazon rainforest and our global climate. What's happening right now in the Amazon is a crime against nature, and it's a crime against humanity. It's time for all of us to unite and act in defense of the forest and in solidarity with the Indigenous peoples, the traditional peoples across the Amazon who are protecting this great rainforest and our global climate for all of our children, your children, and all of humanity and life on Earth. Please join us in taking action for the moratorium today. Take action at amazonwatch.org/takeaction. And if you haven't already, please take this moment to make a contribution to the Amazon Emergency Fund right now. You can do it with a simple text, Amazon to 40649. Amazon to 40649 to help us raise $5 million. We're already halfway there. Now we need you to help us raise the rest. We can do this together. Thank you so much for your solidarity and your support.
Hermanos y hermanas de América Latina y el mundo, en el día de hoy quería manifestarles que en la Amazonía, nuestros 420 pueblos indígenas, nuestros 3 millones de personas, de familias que habitamos la Amazonía, estamos viviendo un momento muy difícil, muy complejo. En primer lugar, por la invasión de nuestros territorios. En segundo lugar, por la contaminación de los ríos y las montañas de nuestra Amazonía, que tiene 7 millones de kilómetros cuadrados. Hoy, la minería ilegal, el extractivismo, la deforestación, los incendios están destruyendo la Amazonía. Pero hoy también se suma la pandemia del COVID. Y es por eso que hoy les pedimos a ustedes su cooperación, su apoyo humano, moral, económico, para salvar a nuestros pueblos, para salvar la biodiversidad, para salvar nuestro territorio. Y hoy aspiramos que con el apoyo de ustedes hagamos realidad nuestro Fondo de Emergencia Internacional por la Amazonía. Háganlo por la humanidad, por uno de los pulmones del planeta, pero también por nuestros pueblos y naciones de la Amazonía.
I wanted to tell you something that's pretty cool that Joaquin Phoenix and Moby helped to do to support the Amazon rainforest here in Los Angeles. So Los Angeles City Council voted to become the first city in the whole country to officially say no to beef, soybeans, and furniture that comes directly from deforested rainforest in Brazil. That's amazing. So no beef, no soybeans, and no furniture comes from harming the rainforest in Brazil. This is a really big deal, and yet it's a very obvious thing to do right now. So your city can do the same. Your city can also divest from ecological destruction and the ethnocide of indigenous peoples in Brazil. And you can make them do it. This is the thing. These things only happen if we acquiesce, if we consent. But we can ask for something different. So on November 3rd, on Election Day, you can vote for the Amazon by electing leaders who will commit right now to follow LA's lead and enact the Amazon divestment legislation in your city and your country as well, actually, all over the world.
The largest driver of deforestation in the Amazon is cattle ranching and supporting industries like soybeans to feed the cattle. Brazil supplies about 22% of the world's leather exports, making it the single largest source of animal hides. As citizens who care about the destruction of the rainforest and protection of indigenous lands and communities, we have to demand the right to know where the leather we are buying comes from. Knowing this gives us the power to make sustainable choices and to support fashion brands that have made a commitment to sourcing material that doesn't destroy the Amazon.
And on that note, I wanted to introduce a really formidable leader who has been working from the age of 10 to defend the people and the forest of his region in Acre, Brazil. His name is Benki Bianco, and he's an Ashaninka leader. He's also the indigenous director of the BOA Foundation, which is an organization that I'm a part of that works with 40 indigenous elders from all over the world and fundraises for their projects and their causes as well. And he sent us a message from the heart of his rainforest in the Yorencatassarense Center.
Então, quero passar essa mensagem, para o mundo como uma reflexão de uma grande expectativa que a gente hoje está tendo pelo grande problema na Amazônia. Tivemos nesses últimos anos, grandes ataques, que vieram pela destruição da floresta causada pelas queimadas, a seca que nos afetou de uma maneira muito violenta em muitos lugares do Brasil e também pela própria contaminação das fumaças que atingiu muitas pessoas no Brasil e assim também no mundo. Eu acredito que todos esses problemas que vêm ocorrendo com as queimadas, com a seca dos rios, principalmente nesse momento, que nós estamos passando do verão, que é uma época da seca, nós temos hoje uma grande preocupação nesse ano, porque nós sabemos que a fumaça ela traz para a nossa vida uma grande intoxicação quando é queimado a floresta. E a gente sabe que tudo isso afeta diretamente os povos indígenas com a gripe, com diarreia, com tantas outras doenças que vêm em cima desse grande calor que afeta os povos indígenas. E hoje, olhando para tudo isso que pode vir nesse ano, pode ser um problema muito mais grave pela queimada, porque a gente vê que hoje a coronavírus, essa doença que hoje está aí vindo, de uma tal maneira, causando pânico à sociedade, causando pânico aos povos indígenas, causando pânico à humanidade. Primeiro, porque não tem nenhum remédio. Segundo, porque os povos indígenas têm uma fragilidade muito grande por ser os povos indígenas mais menos favorecidos pela saúde, pela própria o Estado. Nós temos uma grande dificuldade nisso. E acreditamos que os povos que hoje estão sendo afetados no Brasil, na Amazônia, vai trazer uma grande dificuldade para todos nós, povos indígenas, porque nós vamos acabar perdendo as nossas lideranças, os nossos velhinhos, nossos anciões, por conta dessa doença, assim como a gente foi afetado em outras doenças, em outras épocas no passado. né? E essa pode ser uma que nós podemos perder os nossos anciões, e nós temos uma grande preocupação nessa defesa, né, de poder fazer a prevenção com nossos povos indígenas, cuidar das nossas comunidades, defender os nossos territórios. E acreditamos que isso não vai afetar apenas só os nossos povos indígenas, mas como também vai afetar o mundo inteiro se a gente tiver uma queimada violenta como tivemos o ano passado, e que esse ano a gente espera que a gente possa ter aí, né, através dos parceiros, amigos, países que hoje também pretendem a defender junto com nós, defensores, né, das florestas, defensores dos nossos territórios, defensores da terra, porque nós fomos e somos os únicos mais defensores de toda a história desse planeta, que falamos sinceramente, com tanta sinceridade para o mundo, que a grande violência que está vindo ao planeta, o planeta hoje pode ser explodido em uma grande defasa, né, que hoje pode vir aí a partir dessa queimada que pode ocorrer na Terra. Então isso para nós queremos, né, contar com cada um parceiro desse, com cada um governo, porque o nosso governo hoje a gente sabe que está causando para a gente uma grande violência contra os nossos pensamentos, as nossas visões de mundo, porque tudo isso que vem acontecendo na Terra é uma grande preocupação que não acarreta a vida só de índio, mas também a vida de toda a humanidade do planeta. Eu sou Benque Pianco, sou do povo Axaninca, sou uma liderança que represento hoje, né, essa visão mais ampla que integra hoje o povo Axaninca na proteção dos nossos direitos, dos nossos territórios.
Did you know that the Amazon basin contains 20% of all flowing fresh water on Earth?
No mundo não estão sabendo o que nós está passando aqui no Vale do Javari.
Greed is what has driven the invasion of other people's lands over the course of human history. In the past 30 years, we've lost 17% of the Brazilian Amazon.
This jungle, these waters, they have been in my life for a long time. When I was 9 years old, I went to the Amazon with my grandfather. 25 years later, I returned to the Amazon. Oil spills, dams breaking and leaking toxic sludge, and the government compromising indigenous rights. If they disappear, so will that rainforest.
Morrendo nossos parentes.
A saúde que está uma situação crítica em atendimento à saúde das populações indígenas.
We can't change history. We can't change the past. But we can make a better future by knowing our own past, what we've done, what we could have done differently, how we feel about it, and how we act on it today based on what the past teaches us.
We do not need to repeat history. If I truly believed in community and the interconnection of people in the world, I had to help tell his people's story. I had to go back to the jungle. The Amazon became part of my life when I was 9 years old. I went there with my grandfather on his expedition, exploring ecosystems, species, and people. 25 years later, I returned on another expedition with my father to document what had happened in those 25 years. It is then that I met the people of the Vale do Javari indigenous territory in the Brazilian Amazon. They asked me to tell their story. I created a film called Tribes on the Edge in response to their call. But I realized that telling a story was not enough. Tangible action is necessary. From there, my work has expanded to responding to other needs defined by the indigenous people themselves. Actions that will support the people of the Javari on the ground. This is called the Javari Project. Please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund and demand a halt to extractive activity and deforestation on indigenous territories across the Amazon. We can do this.
if blood will flow, when flesh and steel are one, drying in the color of the evening sun. Tomorrow's rain will wash the stains away, but something in our mind will always stay. Perhaps this final act was meant to clinch our lifetime's argument that nothing comes from violence and nothing ever could. For all those born beneath an angry star, lest we forget how fragile we are. On and on the rain will fall like tears from a star, like tears from a star. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, how fragile we are. The on and on the rain will fall like tears from a star, like tears from a star. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, 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 how fragile we are.
Thank you all for being with us today in this Artists United for Amazonia live stream. My name is Atosa Soltani. I'm the founder of Amazon Watch.
And my name is Lynn Twist, and I'm the co-founder of the Pachamama Alliance.
We are delighted to see this historic expression of unification and coalition, bringing together artists, activists, indigenous peoples, and organizations from around the world to stand in solidarity with the protectors of the Amazon basin. I've been working in the Amazon for nearly 30 years, and I have just never seen such coming together of people for this critical moment where indigenous peoples and many communities are facing this emergency, the COVID emergency. And the time is now to unite and support the Amazon Emergency Fund, which is making direct grants to communities in the front lines in response to this COVID emergency. And we're doing it in partnership with indigenous peoples, and it is led by them. The governing council of the fund is made up of majority indigenous peoples to help guide where the funding is needed most.
You know, this is such an unprecedented time for all of us. And the Amazon rainforest, as Atosa said, and she and I have been working there for decades. We are Amazon sisters, you might say. We've been down there. We've been with the indigenous people. There is such an awesome power coming through them, particularly now as the Amazon reaches a kind of dangerous tipping point. It's the vital organ of our planet. It's the heart and lungs of our planet. And they, the indigenous people across those 9 countries, larger than the United States is the Amazon rainforest, are the natural custodians of these forests. And this fund, the Amazon Emergency Fund.org, that's where you go to donate, is a fund that we're determined to raise $5 million by July 1st, and we want you to participate with us. We would like every single person within the sound of our voice right now to make a donation, large or small. We like large, but small's okay too, to the Amazon Emergency Fund.org. That's where you go to donate. And be in partnership with all these artists, these incredible scientists, all the people who've come together to put this amazing program together. Join them and us and the indigenous peoples of the Amazon. You'll be investing not only in an emergency fund, but in the long-term future of life. These indigenous people are protecting those forests, not only for themselves, but for you and I, and for the long-term future of life. That's the investment to make right now, today. Do not hesitate. Go straight to AmazonEmergencyFund.org and make your donation right away.
And you can be sure that 100% of every donation will go directly in grants to support front lines, to support emergency evacuation, masks, testing, food systems, protection of territories, protection of leaders. Deforestation in the Amazon is actually on the rise while we're all in sheltering in place. Deforestation is actually accelerating in the Amazon. And we basically have no time to lose. This is the moment to come together in an unprecedented fashion, to unite in supporting and standing in solidarity with indigenous peoples who not only are the best stewards of the Amazon, they also have a lot of wisdom to teach us about how to live in harmony with nature, how to live in harmony with the living systems of our planet. And we must protect the protectors and unite as a global movement. This is just the beginning of this global movement. And we're very excited that you're joining us. And now, don't wait till tomorrow. Do it today. Help us have an incredible impact. Go to AmazonEmergencyFund.org and be part of our movement. Thank you.
Donate today. Don't hesitate. Go for it. Thank you.
Did you know that an alliance of 25 indigenous nations have united to protect 30 million acres in the Amazon Sacred Headwaters region from new oil drilling and mining?
As the world begins to emerge from this pandemic, embarking on putting lives and economies back on their feet, we have an unprecedented opportunity and obligation to do things differently and better. Indigenous peoples have been teaching us for thousands of years that our own survival and the survival of all living things is fundamentally tied to the health of our environment. Decisions we make every day can be the difference between thriving together and destroying our most fundamental link to our planet. When we protect the protectors, we protect ourselves.
This crisis is showing us the importance of solidarity, to put life over profit, and the importance of the natural world. It's showing us how connected we are as humans. It's not the first time that we as Indigenous people are facing a new disease, but it's the first time that the forest may no longer be the safest place. There are no hospitals in our communities, no government aid. We stand on our own. And in the face of lack of attention from governments, Indigenous women and Indigenous organizations are taking the matter into their own hands, producing and distributing information on preventative measures of COVID-19 as well as management plans, putting their own health at risk. At the same time, Indigenous people are calling on the protection of Mother Earth and the Amazon rainforest. We need to heal this planetary wound. We need to protect those people who are protecting the Amazon rainforest, the world climate, and Mother Earth. We need to protect Indigenous people. Thank you.
Wow, it's been such a trip to see all of these incredible images and to hear all of these messages. I've certainly got a real sense of the care, the level of care that every single one of our messengers has for the thriving of life and the care for our planet and for beauty and for diversity, both cultural diversity and biological diversity. And we know in our hearts in this way that love is actually the answer, because through this aspect of care and through this love vibration, I guess, that's what actually turns us on to stand together in this way. And the thing is, COVID has been a global game changer. We're all locked up in our houses with an opportunity to think. And we have changed so many things that we thought were impossible to shift out of fear. But can we change them out of love? How do we want to step back out into the world, right? What kind of world do we want to step back out into? And what do you value? What do you hold dear to your heart? And who are you? And what do you love? And this live stream and the Amazon Emergency Fund, this is a shining example of the kind of collaboration that is possible right now, that this crisis is calling for. And it's been a real honor to spend this time with all of you. Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. Please spread this message. Please tell your friends and your loved ones to join us in protecting the heart of this planet. When we do, we protect all of us. We protect everything. It's all us.
Let's make sure what we do now will make future generations thrive. The fate of Amazonia affects everyone. So please, take a deep breath, think of the Amazon rainforest, and support the Amazon Emergency Fund. Let's not lose the people of the trees. Let's not lose the Amazon rainforest. Come on, man. We're all in this together. Yeah.
I've never been to the Amazon rainforest, but I know that we all have to work together to stand with the indigenous communities that have protected the forest, which is the heart of the planet, and they've protected it for thousands of years. While these guardians of the forest are under constant assault from a government that sees the richness of the land and its resources as commodities to be mined, drilled, and cut down for profit, it is up to us, the world community, to face our own responsibility in all of this. The wisdom keepers of the rainforest have always known that we all belong to the earth and that we are all responsible in different ways for its health. That when the forest is ravaged by fires, as we all witnessed last summer, the weather systems, the temperatures of the world's oceans, and the air we breathe are all affected. If nothing else, this global pandemic has made it crystal clear that we are all connected, that whatever happens over there, wherever there is, affects what happens here in our home, in our community, to our neighbors and loved ones, and in our country as a whole. This virus doesn't know any there or here. The Amazon, listen to this, it's very important. The Amazon is responsible for providing 20% of the world's oxygen. 25% of the world's medicines come from there, and other tropical forests. It's possible that the cure for this pandemic and potential future ones could in fact come from there as well. And I love this fact that there are more trees in the Amazon than stars in the Milky Way. Hopefully with this broadcast, we have brought you a little closer to the Amazon and to the role we must all play, no matter where we are, in joining with the guardians of this vast and vital forest that protects us every day from those that are destroying it. Yes, it's about climate change, and it's about the destruction of thousands of years of an ecosystem that feeds the world's atmosphere with fresh air and water. And most of all, it is about the people who live side by side with the animals and the trees and carry the knowledge of its secrets and the known incalculable role it plays. Many are calling for this to be a time when we consider what the future could look like if the health of the planet, the health of the global economy, and our personal health are seen as all connected. If we begin to emerge from this time with a commitment to forge a new future, where opportunities to serve our global well-being and our economic health are finally in partnership, then we will have taken a big step toward forging a better future for all of us. We are all connected now. And perhaps that is what this virus is teaching us, that we are all responsible for each other in ways we hadn't seen before, when we protect ourselves by protecting each other. So please join me in supporting the Amazon Emergency Fund and demand a halt to extractive activity and deforestation on indigenous territories across the Amazon. We can do this. We really can make a difference today, now, together. Thank you.
We can do this.
We can do this.
We can do this.
We can do this.
Now.
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 Today.
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 Today. Together.
Together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If blood will flow, when flesh and steel are one, drying in the color of the evening sun, tomorrow's rain will wash the stains away, but something in our mind will always stay. Perhaps this final act was meant to clinch our lifetime's argument that nothing come from violence and nothing ever could. For all those born beneath an angry star, lest we forget how fragile we are. On and on the rain will fall like tears from the star, like tears from the star. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, how fragile we are. Like tears from the star, like tears from